our American Business Spotlight person that we need to spotlight this morning. Very excited about this. We are introducing RBH Living, who is your personal Amway representative. It's Rin Brockett Hauk.
It's almost it's like the the dog sound when they go
Hauk. Yeah. Now Rin loves helping everybody to look and feel their best, and she has American-made chicks support her own skincare and nutrition at Amway, and she's partnered with them to bring you a bunch of stuff straight to your home, so you can just like mail order this stuff. Very excited about it. So there's personalized makeup, which I think is really cool. There's oral care. There's self tanners. The lip, you have to show them the lip gloss.
This is okay, because I tried the lip gloss this morning.
It's pretty cool.
And I'm doing it right, and all of a sudden I see this light, and I'm like, what the heck? It freaking has a light.
Isn't that
so
cool?
You can use the lip gloss in the dark.
I know.
And I was like, this is amazing. So, and I like it.
It's pretty cool. Like she was like, where's that light coming from?
Where's that coming from?
Coming from my lip gloss. Okay. So all your orders are shipped directly to you, free shipping on orders over $99. And you guys, you need to check her out. So go to our website, chicksontheright.com/sponsors, and then click on the banner for our American Business Spotlight, where you can find RBH Living. This is her.
They also, these are the little, these are like the flavor, like sport drink packet thingies that you can put into water. If you don't like just plain water, kind of like if you like Propel or whatever, they have these also. So
my husband hates he hates regular water, but he drinks a ton every day. So he always has those squirty things. This is way better. Yeah, way, way better. So you guys join together, support Rin. She's a special lady and she's an entrepreneur, and we love small business people who are conservative. So support them and support our community. Go to chicksontheright.com/sponsors, click on American Business Spotlight, and then check out Amway and Rin. Do it today.
Do it. Support our supporters. It's like everybody loving everybody,
Absolutely.
Okay. So there was something that one of our folks at Radio America found yesterday about Facebook. We've been getting a lot of messages for a long time from a lot of you who have been like, I used to get notified from Facebook that you were going live. I would get a notification and then I could click right to your show, and it was super handy. And I never get those anymore. And I don't know what's going on. Well, he figured out what's going on. And so I'm going to try to tell you what to do to fix it. But then I'm also going to do a write-up on it on our website at chicksontheright.com this morning with screenshots that will show you exactly how to do this. But essentially, every person's notifications for our live stream are by default set to off, because that's how Facebook rolls. They don't want you to watch us, okay? We know this.
It's pretty obvious.
So they've set it to off by default. So here's what you need to do. And apparently you can do this on either your phone or your computer, whichever. So you just go to our main page, our main Chicks on the Right Facebook page. And then at the top, there's a button that says following, if you're already following us, or follow. And then if you press that, you're going to be able to set us as a favorite. And then once you do that, you're going to set, there's a drop down that says video. And for that, you're going to choose all notifications and set live video to all notifications. That way, you'll continue to get the notifications when we go live. And so on those times, from time to time, it happens. Sometimes we got to switch our time. We try to alert everybody with Ashley Judd posts, but sometimes people don't see those because Facebook hides our posts all the time too.
Yeah, they do.
So if you don't want to miss a live stream, that's the way to do it. And don't worry if that was too much and it was too quick. I will be giving out all those instructions on our website later this morning. So I'm just glad that he figured out like there's a way to actually address it, right?
They're trying to squelch us. This is nothing new. Yeah. But you can fight back. That's how you can fight back.
Yeah. So that's the way. And I see a lot of people are saying YouTube is better for watching, set your alarm. There's a lot of things that you can do. But for those people who do like getting the notifications, we're going to get you back to getting them. And so that is the goal. Also, I saw a poll. This is why I made her do the Bernie voice earlier, you guys.
What do you gotta? It just sounds like I'm gonna have like a hole. So bad. You guys, my throat hurts so bad. I think I have strep. I'm gonna have to go see it.
Ah, geez. Okay, well, I don't want to laugh at your at
No,
your
it's
plate.
worth it to do Bernie. It's
I
totally
mean,
worth
that's the thing. Because when she sounded sick this morning, I was like, geez, I wonder how that's gonna impact your Bernie voice because I have a re
What do you got? I have to I know, I just have to, like, put some force.
because I do have a reason to bring him up this morning, and that is because there was an article yesterday that apparently a poll was recently done that showed 49% of Americans, so basically half the country. Okay, let's just
Mhm.
add the
Mhm.
1%. Okay,
Right.
half of the country wants a third party candidate for
This is
president.
crazy.
Half.
Craziness. Who do they poll?
Well, that's a good question. I didn't get into the nits and grits of the whole poll itself, but I just took away like the top takeaways were, first of all, that it was half the country wants a third party, but then they asked people, okay, well, for a third party candidate, what percentage of you want Bernie Sanders?
What do you gotta?
And it was 21%.
Oh my god. This is the thing. I'm wondering, like, what they were who they were polling. Who are
It gets
these
even dumber
commies?
because 10% wanted Liz Cheney.
Oh my god. Like, are we being punked at this point? Is this a joke? I feel like
It may be
crazy.
a joke. I don't
Yeah.
know, because that seems just really far-fetched. 7% wanted Joe Manchin, who's probably not even gonna be able to hang on to his Senate seat at this point. And then 43% of that 49% want just somebody else, like anybody else, just
Yeah.
please help us.
Anybody
Give
but
us
the people that
anybody.
we have. Yeah. Anybody but them. Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it's just
everybody has different viewpoints on who they want this time. It's not like everybody's just lock in step with a party. It's very strange. It's going to be really interesting to see how this pans out. Like, I mean, I have
yeah.
young people in my life. There's a lot of a lot of the young people in my life like Vivek, which I find interesting
Interesting.
and I think it's because he also is young.
Yeah.
And they're so sick of having old people. So when I hear them talk about Vivek is exciting and he's innovative and he's like, he has all these great ideas and he seems charismatic and I think he'd be great. I think they're attracted to that because he is in fact young
Hmm.
and not, about to die. So there's that. I have no idea. This is just a toss up. I mean, usually we have some sort of a pulse on like how people are feeling. Of course, you've got like the people who are always Trumpers, and then put them aside, and then you're like, okay, there's no telling what's going to happen. You guys are
Yeah.
just freaking free for all at this point.
Well, and we'll get into the two announcements that were made yesterday about the run for the White House. But first, want to remind everybody that if you've got a stinky room, and I know you do, I'm not making any judgments. I'm just saying from time to time, all of us, for whatever reason, whether it's cooking or you spill something or
dogs,
you have
puppies.
dogs or
Yeah.
cats, which are even
Mhm.
worse, you're going to have some smells in your house. And you don't have to deal with them when you have this handy dandy little plug into the wall, doesn't take up any floor space, Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier. These things are my favorite thing because they're just so freaking handy, especially because they just don't take up any space and you can just carry it around from room to room, or like you can do what we did, which is just get a 3-pack. And then, whatever your high traffic rooms are, whatever your most dog attracted rooms are, your kitchen, if you cook things that maybe the person that you live with doesn't like in my case, I cook eggs and my husband hates them. So you can get rid of the smells practically instantaneously. You just turn this thing on. You can set the level, the amount of air purifying that you want. Maybe you just need a little, maybe you need a lot. It works so quickly. That's why these things are so great. And it can even work in your car because it's got the little USB thing. These are absolutely fantastic, so useful, and you can get them with a huge discount. We're talking $200 off of a 3-pack right now, you guys, at EdenPureDeals.com. You just use code CHICKS and you're going to get that discount on the 3-pack. There's a reason that they have sold so many hundreds of thousands of these. It's because people get them and they're like, yeah, these are amazing. They work fast and they are fantastic. You should check them out. Okay, let's do some presidential news. So Christie, well, I guess first I should just mention that Mike Pence announced yesterday,
Yeah. I
We
had to
have a
remind you.
video.
I
You
had
had
to
to
go.
tell me. I knew it was happening this week, but, like, there was no buzz.
Fanfare. There's no fanfare, no buzz, nobody cares. People aren't really on Twitter, like, talking about, "Oh my gosh, he's running. Aren't you guys excited?" No one's excited about it. So,
I mean, no
yeah.
buzz. So
Mhm.
we'll play a little bit. I haven't even watched it yet. We'll play a little bit of his announcement video that he posted on Twitter, and I guess that's how he made the announcement.
Yeah.
I did not even know that this morning because I did not even see it in any headlines. It was not being talked about anywhere. Daisy had to tell me
It was, like,
right
buried.
before.
It was buried
Yeah,
at Daily Mail, and I was like, "Okay, well, that's bad." But,
yeah.
yeah, that's happening. It's happening, everybody.
It's
Mhm.
happening, and we will talk about that a little bit. But Chris Christie also made his announcement, and it was funny because we had Fox News on, and they like cut to him before Brett Baer's show. They cut to him to listen in as he made the big proclamation that he was officially running for president. Well, when they cut to him, I think they expected that he would just say it right away. Oh, no, no, no. Chris Christie wanted to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about things. And so he did do that. He had a small crowd, from what I gathered, in New Hampshire, and he was working that room. So this was, Chris Christie's fantastic when it comes to off the cuff speeches, no teleprompting, no notes, no nothing. He's a very, very good speaker, very easy to listen to. It's one of his strengths for sure. And so he starts talking, and he was working the room. He didn't care where the camera was. He was talking to the people behind him, even if that meant his back was to the camera, which I appreciated. Other people didn't, and you're going to hear about that in just a second. But it took him forever to actually get to the announcement part. So I was riveted to the speech, and then they cut away because he still hadn't made it, and it was like time for Brett Baer to start his show. So I didn't see it live because no one was showing it live. I had to catch the actual announcement part after the fact. But I thought we would share a couple of the big highlights. The first, where he's talking, and I did hear this part live, when he talked about the fact that he is not a perfect candidate. Here he is.
We can't dismiss the question of character anymore, everybody. If we do, we get what we deserve. And we will have to own it. So let's talk about candidates for a second. I just will tell you this, that if you are in search of the perfect candidate, it is time to leave. I am not it. And not only am I not the perfect candidate, I'm far from the perfect person.
So there's a little humility.
I guess, yeah. Listen, maybe it's because I'm sick and I'm feeling like crap, but, like, get to the point, dude,
It did take
Just
forever.
right? I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, just get to your point. I think a lot of these guys just like to hear themselves talk and
Yes.
pontificate on all things, and it's like, all right, okay, so what are you gonna tell me about issues? Talk about that, what, like, issues and policy. That's what I wanna hear when it
Yeah,
comes to a candidate. I just like, quit preaching to me,
I know. Well, and unfortunately, it seems that his issue, his top policy is just hating Donald Trump. That is going to be the focus of his campaign, and it can't be more clear than it is in this little bit.
Lonely, self-consumed, self-serving, mirror hog is not a leader. Well, let me be clear, in case I have not been already. The person I am talking about, who is obsessed with the mirror, who never admits a mistake, who never admits a fault, and who always finds someone else and something else to blame for whatever goes wrong, but finds every reason to take credit for anything that goes right, is Donald Trump. And if we don't have that conversation with you, we don't deserve to ask for your vote. We don't deserve the mantle of leadership. We don't deserve to have you think of us as people worthy of leadership.
Okay, so this is like a revenge run.
It's totally a revenge run.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't know. That's just not a good reason to run. Again, I didn't hear anything about policy or anything about issues or anything about what he would do differently. Or it was just, he's a horrible man. I hate him. I'm running for president.
Right. And I'm not even that great myself.
Right. I'm not perfect, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go against him. I just don't think that's a good sell. People aren't going to buy that, what he's selling.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things that Christie, and by the way, that's the reason for my name today. Today is Mock Moxie, because I just thought I'm just going to kind of model it after his name. I think he gets a bad rap for things that he shouldn't get a bad rap for. There's a lot of negatives to Christie, but it drives me crazy, for example, when people stay mad to this day that he hugged Obama after that hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that is your problem with Christie, if that's what made him like negative in your view, that's ridiculous on every freaking level. Because if there were a Republican president and a Democrat mayor who was or a Democrat governor rather, that was dealing with the aftermath of a hurricane, and those two gentlemen hugged because they're seeing something that is horrendous and it's a human thing,
right?
And that is your problem. Like, what is wrong with you? I just have never understood that at all. Go after him about going to the beach when he told people that they couldn't go. Go after him about Bridgegate or whatever. Go after him about policies. But when he had a human moment with another human, that is not a reason to be mad at him. It just isn't. I've never understood that ever.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that hate him for whatever reason. And Greg Kelly at Newsmax is clearly one of those people. Man, he did not have nice things to say about this announcement. Check this out.
Christie running for president? LOL. That's my response. I'm sorry. I do not take him or his presidential candidacy seriously, but he did make it official.
That I can't guarantee you success in what I'm about to do. But I guarantee you that at the end of it, you will have no doubt in your mind who I am and what I stand for and whether I deserve it. And that's why I came back to New Hampshire to tell all of you that I intend to seek the Republican nomination for President of the United States in 2024, and I want your support.
There it is.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, that took a while, Took a while. A lot of foreplay there.
Worst announcement I've ever seen in my life. Back to the camera for half of it. And his hands were in his pockets. His hands. You make a decision like that. You make a statement like that with your hands in your pockets. Dead on arrival. He was obnoxious as hell, by the way. Excuse me.
Wow.
Now.
Wow.
We have pretenders all around us who want to tell you, pick me. Because I'm kind of like what you picked before, but not quite as crazy. But I don't want to say his name because for these other pretenders, he is, for those of you who read the Harry Potter books, like Voldemort.
Wow.
It's not funny. The crowd is not digging him.
I don't.
Okay, so Greg Kelly he was relentless. He was just going in there, going for the jugular on that one.
Right?
But hands in the pockets and back to the camera. That's just like a dumb reason. That's totally dumb. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I didn't mind that stuff at all. At all.
I'm surprised he didn't say he's fat.
I mean, there's been so many memes. Oh my God.
I'm sure there are. Like all the crispy Chris and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all going around. Mm-hmm.
But there was an unlikely supporter in Stephen A. Smith who appeared on Hannity, of all places, to talk about Christie's announcement. And it was just so odd to me, this conversation, that I had to share it. Listen to these two.
No, but we'll see.
Why did he leave office with a 14% approval rating? We all remember Bridgegate, although that ended up being somewhat squishy and overruled in an appeal. But then there he is, sitting on a beach that he closed himself. One rule for him, one rule for the rest of the people in New Jersey.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
Well, first of all, that's something that I'm supposed to be bringing up. I'm surprised you're bringing that up about a conservative and a Republican candidate. Way to go for you, Sean. But at the end of the day, I'm not sitting up here trying to campaign for Chris Christie or anything. Listen, the bottom line is he's certainly not a liberal. The bottom line is this. When you look at him, and I think that, he's competent, and more importantly, he's going to be talking about issues as opposed to having us distracted with a whole bunch of nonsense that we don't need to be distracted with as a country. That's all I'm saying. Now, whether he wins, and I know it's a long shot. I know it's a very long shot, but I tell you this much. I'd vote for him before I'd vote for any of the Democratic candidates that I've seen. But that's not the same when it comes to DeSantis or Trump. But when it comes to him, I know that's what position I take. I'm a registered independent. You understand?
Right.
And that's what I would take. That's how I feel about it.
That's so interesting to me. And also, he didn't mention anything about issue or policy. So he's like harping on that. It's like, dude, we just watched him like just talk and talk and talk for a long, obscenely long amount of time. And he didn't get to the point, and he didn't talk at all about policy or issues. So that's interesting. And he would, remember when we met him?
He was so mean.
We met him in person, you guys, at WIBC when we used to work there. Stephen, we're talking about Stephen, not Chris Christie. Although Marcus met Chris Christie in person too.
Yeah, that was back in the day, and I adored Chris Christie when he first pounced on the scene with the whole union stuff. I mean, we all did. And don't try to tell me that you didn't, because way back in the day, we all loved Chris Christie when he took on the unions. And then, things
kind of fizzled. There's all sorts of problems and stuff that happened in his tenure.
But I would love to have him on our show. I think we should on our deep dive. I would love it. I would love if he came on.
That would be cool. I find it really interesting though that Stephen Smith is like, I would vote for him.
Isn't that interesting?
This is why I say it's going to be a free for all, you guys. There's just no telling what people are thinking in their brains right now. Everybody is just like all over the place. So
it's true.
Yeah.
All over the place. I know a lot of people, it seems like we don't talk as often as we should about this amazing fresh pressed olive oil that you can try a full size bottle like this for free. You pay $1 to cover shipping, and that is it. And so if you want to know about this fresh pressed olive oil, then you need to know that it's made by a fellow by the name of TJ Robinson. He's known as the olive oil hunter. And it's true because he goes literally all over the world in search of small family-owned farms that grow olives and that make this delicious oil. And like before we talked to him and before we tasted and sampled some of the olive oil that fresh pressed olive oil produces, I could not have given two craps about olive oil. I could not have cared less. In fact, I was not even looking forward to it. I was like, who cares about olive oil? It's all the same. Oh, no, it's not. It is not. And so you and I did a taste test between 3 different brands that he offers, different
blends, like different
blends. Yeah. And different strength levels. I don't even know how else to describe it, because there's mild ones, there's sort of medium, there's bolder ones. They are all delicious, and depending on what you use it for, whether it's just straight cooking, whether you want to use it as a salad dressing, whether you want to use it as a dip for bread. Oh my gosh, the difference is extraordinary. And it's because it is so fresh. So much of what you get from the supermarket has been on the shelves or in a warehouse for a couple of years, you guys.
Yeah, it's nasty.
And once you taste the difference, you cannot go back to just regular store-bought whatever brand olive oil. You can't. I promise you this. And I can guarantee it, you're going to be able to try it, a whole full-size bottle just like this. $1 shipping. That is it. When you go to chicksloveoliveoil.com, try it. You're going to be amazed. I promise. I absolutely promise. Am I right?
Oh, it's fantastic. I love that stuff.
So good. Thank you, Mark Wallace. He said Alfred E. Newman, and I don't know why, because it was about 15 minutes ago. I'm sorry. I'm only just now recognizing you. And Shelley, thank you. I'm sure you're talking about Chris Christie just wants to be a thorn in Trump's rose garden. I mean, I think that he made that pretty obvious, right? Like,
if Trump gets on the debate stage and Chris Christie's there, oh my God, it's going to be like daggers flying, which I'm there for. I want to see the show. I want to watch the show. I think that would be great.
Honestly, Trump better give us a show. He better.
I think, hopefully, I would imagine that in the end he would show up, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
So again, it's a free for all, you guys.
It really is. All right. So I have not watched Mike Pence's announcement video. We're not going to play the whole thing because it's almost 3 minutes long. And so we'll all watch it together and then raise your hand if you get sick of it. And then I'll cut it off. But here it is.
The land of opportunity, beacon of democracy, the shining city on the hill, land of the free, home of the brave, the United States of America. As a son of the heartland, grandson of an Irish immigrant, those aren't just words. My family has lived the American dream. I had the great honor to serve in Congress, as governor, and as your vice president. And I'll always be proud of the progress we made together for a stronger, more prosperous America. But today, our country's in a lot of trouble. President Joe Biden and the radical left have weakened America at home and abroad.
Everybody's like, we're out.
The American dream is being crushed under runaway inflation.
All right, I'll stop it. But I mean, I felt like I had to,
Yeah, I mean, but with all the Christie stuff yesterday, Mike Pence is in the corner going, but I'm running too. You guys, hello, over here.
I mean, I love the music. It was very dramatic.
Yeah,
and
it was
he's got
very
such a good voice for that kind of thing. I mean, that's why he started out in radio.
He used to do radio exactly where we did radio in Indianapolis. So, I mean, he's good at that. He's good at that stuff.
It's funny. Every time we would talk about, like, I don't know, lesbian
midget porn
or whatever,
exactly.
We would be like, this is the chair that Mike Pence sat in to do radio.
Exactly. we really elevated it. We elevated his seat, you guys. The chicks did. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so if you want to catch his entire campaign video, it's on his Twitter page. That's where I found it, and that's where you can find it. And so he is officially in. That is happening.
Great.
So there it is.
Okay.
So we covered that, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Look at us go.
Look at us.
Okay. Also, what happened on Twitter yesterday is that Tucker Carlson released his very first episode of his show on Twitter. Now, it was only about 10 and a half minutes long. So it wasn't like quite the show. I don't think that I was expecting. I was kind of expecting like a
half-hour deal.
Okay, yeah, so at least a half hour.
How does he do that? Does he go live? Does he just like give you a pre-recorded video? How is that working?
It's pre-recorded. I'm pretty sure it's pre-recorded. Yeah, okay. It didn't seem live. But he talked a lot about he talked a lot about world policy, the things happening in the world. But at the very end, he reflected a bit on just sort of the state of free speech and censorship. And that's the clip that I wanted to share with you guys. So you can obviously check it out on Twitter. But here was the end of it.
So if you're wondering why our country seems so dysfunctional, this is a big part of the reason. Nobody knows what's happening. A small group of people control access to all relevant information, and the rest of us don't know. We're allowed to yap all we want about racism, but go ahead and talk about something that really matters and see what happens. If you keep it up, they'll make you be quiet. Trust us. That's how they maintain control. When Western tourists first started traveling in large numbers to the Soviet Union in the early 1970s, they found that many Russians had a completely warped understanding of the United States. They thought that Americans lived in grinding poverty, in a state of perpetual race war, and were desperate to flee to the freedom and prosperity of the Eastern Bloc. They thought this because that's what they had been told. They had no way to know otherwise. The few Russians who understood what was really going on in the rest of the world had learned about it from listening to shortwave radio broadcasts, sometimes under the covers so the neighbors wouldn't hear. 50 years later, it is bewildering to consider the ironies here. We're the ones who live in ignorance now. The U.S. government has managed to classify more than 1 billion so-called public documents. So at this point, we can't possibly know what our leaders are doing. We're not allowed to know. By definition, that is not a democracy. Yet it's fine with the media. Secrecy is a powerful tool of control. Stop asking how we got so rich. Here's another story about racism. Go eat each other. That's the program. That's how most of us now live here in the United States. Manipulated by lies, silenced by taboos. It is unhealthy and it's dehumanizing, and we're tired of it. As of today, we've come to Twitter, which we hope will be the shortwave radio under the blankets. We're told there are no gatekeepers here. If that turns out to be false, we'll leave. But in the meantime, we are grateful to be here. We'll be back with much more very soon.
I love that he was like, listen, if they don't let me say what I want to say here, I'll go elsewhere.
I'm out. Yeah.
I'm totally out. So you better watch that, Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cause I mean,
Because
like,
Elon, it's not been perfect.
No,
I mean,
it's
there's
the stuff-
absolutely been some censorship.
the stuff with the Daily Wire, what happened, in the past week with the what is a woman stuff, where they try to put it out there. And there was like initially it just was not going well. There was some squelching. And I was like, this is whack. And so I think it's great that he put that out there as a caveat. He's like, I'm out of here. You don't let me say what I want to say. I'm out of here. Because you know what? I agree. People like him are the arbiters of truth. We are being sold a bill of goods by our media and our politicians who are basically working together. They are the Democrat Party. So, this is why you have to teach your children and your grandchildren, think critically about everything, question everything, even if it's authority. You got to question,
especially if it's authority.
Especially if it's authority, you got to question these people. So, yeah.
Well, and Candace Owens yesterday in her podcast was talking about the fact that Matt Walsh from Daily Wire and others from the Daily Wire had been demonetized on YouTube simply because they misgender people is how they were. That's why they were supposedly punished. And so, all goes with that, What is a Woman documentary that Matt Walsh did. And so the fact that they were demonetized on YouTube for that, and that is the rule at YouTube that, for example, if you refer to Dylan Mulvaney as a he, then potentially you can be kicked off of YouTube. We're going to have to start. I mean, if we want to stay on YouTube, and we don't have the luxury of being a huge platform like Daily Wire with that kind of reach. So we rely on the big tech social media platforms in order to get to as many people as possible. If we have to resort to pig Latin to talk about the trans issues, we will. Okay.
But the fact that
we're going to talk about it.
But the fact that we have to do that in a once free United States of America is just staggering. I mean,
it is.
The left will go on and on. They'll yammer on and on about democracy. And it's like, can you not even see like 2 feet in front of you what is happening? Because we don't have one right now. It's not fair for the people on our side of the aisle because they're absolutely trying to tell us what to think, what to say, like what to believe. It's all crazy. It's crazy.
But I mean that he's right. Like right now, Twitter is the shortwave radio. Other other independent, conservative or otherwise, people like us, anybody who is trying to reach a specific audience or any audience for that matter, we're the shortwave radio right now for as long as we can be, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why he's so right that it's terrifying, really, when you think about how colluding it is between politicians, between media, that we're if we don't fall in line, we're going to get in trouble. I mean, that's freaking North Korea.
Totally. Sometimes I actually am bewildered by the fact that you and I are still standing because over the past 8 years, probably it's been around the past 8 years, we've seen so many people that are sort of like peers, counterparts that do kind of what we do. They're no longer doing it. Because Facebook was the one who, squelched them so hard. Like they just had avenues taken away from them where they can communicate with the outside world. And it's simply because they're conservative. So for years, I've been just in awe of the fact that we are still standing. And I think part of that is we have a mission, like, it's a lot of, I have strong faith and I believe a lot of that there's a reason for that, but there's still like, I look around and I'm like, how are we able to, cause we're not big potatoes, you guys, we're so small. And there are days where I think they're going to shut us down. And they haven't yet done it. Thank God. But man, it's like any day now that could happen in a free United States. For us to even fear that is crazy.
It is. It's absolutely insane that this is something we even have to concern ourselves with in America.
Yep.
And it's freaking whack. Speaking of whack, not your whack, because we're not quite there yet, but what's going on in New York City right now with vending machines that have crack pipes and all kinds of drugs and all kinds of drug paraphernalia in them, just at the ready in neighborhoods in New York City. There's absolutely no intention of any Democrat politician of any major city who does that kind of thing, who puts these kinds of vending machines up to encourage drug use, because that's what you're doing. There's no intention for them to cut down on crime in any way. They want the crime. They don't care that this is happening to people. And so I thought it was of particular interest that Harold Ford, who typically plays the role of liberal, on the five when that hag Jessica Tarlov is mercifully not on. He was on and talking about the whole New York City vending machine thing just yesterday, and he had some strong things to say about it. Here he is.
With topics here that I think are beyond the pale of stupidity. I don't understand, as I listen to this young man, the health commissioner, with a straight face in a community where I would imagine education opportunities, job opportunities, investment opportunities, wealth building opportunities are not there. And we're putting vending machines with drugs in them. We've sunk to a low point here. If these are the kinds of answers that public policymakers are giving and delivering to the public, it'd be different if they were able to point to some data saying this helps people then get the kind of health care and rehabilitative care they need after being addicted to drugs. But there's no data, no evidence to show. Furthermore, when three people in a neighborhood, if you went to the Upper East Side here in New York and you had three people between 70th and 80th on Park saying, we think this is a bad thing for our community, we wouldn't put it there. This is shameful that we have these kind of vending machines in communities anywhere in America. And in the city I call home now, that we would allow this to happen. It's not only an embarrassment, it's an affront, and really, this is criminal what we're doing to these communities.
Well, those are some strong words, but I think it goes back to like, how do Democrats feel about people? Well, they want people to always be dependent on them. They think that people are weak. They think that people aren't capable. I mean, look at what we saw with even Sunny and Whoopi.
Uh-oh. Come back. Ah, geez. She was about to make the best point, you guys. I could just tell. Couldn't you? Well, before she comes back, because I know she will, let me just remind everybody, I wanted to tell you guys, remember how I got the trees from fastgrowingtrees.com? I got a lilac tree, and I thought there's no way that the lilac tree, because I am terrible, I do not have a green thumb at all. There's no way I'm going to be able to get this to grow. So I planted it last year. I'm just talking about fast growing trees really fast. So remember your point. I still can't hear you though. No. There's still no sound.
Now you should.
Okay. Yes. Now I can. All right. So I was just saying that lilac tree that I planted last year, it had lilac, like actual flowers. It flowered this year. I was so excited. There were at least 3 separate like lilac flowers growing. And it's just a tiny little stick tree, you guys. It's barely, it's a baby. It's a baby.
Yeah. I bought rose bushes from them, like rose plant, I guess is what you like. And I cannot believe it. Unbelievably, they're still alive. And they bloom and they're beautiful. And I'm like, look at me with roses. Can you even?
Right?
Like that? Yeah.
It's the stuff that you get. And I think the reason that stuff from Fast Growing Trees, which by the way is the largest seller of all kinds of bushes, trees, plants online, and they are the experts at it. When they send you whatever it is that you order, whatever kind of plant, bush, or tree you order, they give you such specific instructions, such easy to follow instructions, and they package the trees and bushes so well that you're like, it's foolproof. You can't mess it up, even if you don't know anything about planting or anything, which that would describe me. So they also have a 30-day Alive and Thrive guarantee. So everything's going to look great right out of the box, right when you plant it, everything is going to be great. I absolutely love them. And I love especially that when you go to their website, you can choose what area of the country that you're in, and then it will show you specifically what kinds of plants, flowers, bushes are going to grow best in your climate. So they just make it so easy. And if you use our code, if you go to fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks, you're going to get 15% off of your entire order. fastgrowingtrees.com/chicks.
So what I was saying before I moved and I got booted out. Sorry, you guys. So testy, my mic. Is it Joy and Whoopi? Is it not Joy, but Sunny and Whoopi? God, they all have such happy names and they're such miserable people. But they actually did something similar. Whereas, it's like, you're not capable. You're not capable of doing better than you're doing now. You're not capable of winning. You're not capable of the American dream. And that's precisely like when I see these drug things in cities, this is what Democrat politicians actually think about people. They run on the platform of, we're for the people, right? We're benevolent. We're for the people. We're for the middle class. We're for the lower middle class. I mean, this is the thing. And we're for the people. Like, we want to help them. We're the social servicey kind of people out there. To me, that's it. You're not getting a leg up. You're not helping people. You don't expect the best of people by putting a drug vending machine in a city. That's not expecting the best from people. And that's precisely what we on our side do, is we're like, no, we're not going to put drugs out there for people, because that's going to make them fail in life.
Right.
Do you want your kids doing drugs? Why would you want your neighbors doing drugs? I mean, losers do drugs. So they think in their brains, well, these people are losers. We'll keep them numb, and then we'll be able to control them. This is the thing. It's gross. It's just gross to see people.
It's insulting. And Sunny is constantly insulting when she focuses so much on racial issues and the fact that Tim Scott is some sort of an exception. No, he's not. And I don't know how many examples he had to give her to get it through her thick skull that systemic racism is no longer a factor that you can use as an excuse to just blame other people on your own misfortune.
Yeah, for your
you
problem.
Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And people and conservatives tend to believe that people can do for themselves. We believe in people for the most part.
Yeah, and
if they just try, if they just give their best, if they just work hard. It's all those standard traditional phrases that we were taught as kids on how to grow up as a decent human. We were never told, oh, if you're down, blame somebody else. It's somebody else's fault. It's the system's fault.
Or if you're down, here, I'm going to throw some drugs at you. I mean, this is the thing. It's gross what these people are doing. If you wouldn't do it with your family, why would you do it with these people? I mean, these are fellow Americans. Like, I don't know what it's going to take, tough love, whatever, but they have enabled, whole cities have literally spiraled because of Democrat policies. We watch it all over the country.
Yeah.
And then people will still vote for this shit. It's like, what are you doing?
And they're always like, it's because Democrats care about the working class.
Yeah.
Really?
They don't.
Give me one example that doesn't involve them just throwing money at a cause that then is never accounted for. There's never any results tied to that money. Yeah. Behold our entire education system for the past 4 decades.
Right.
And how much money's been thrown at it.
A drug vending machine is literally an exclamation point on that point. It's gross. Like, what do you... Wow. That's how you feel about people. Gross.
I know. Just vile. Joe Rogan I'm not sure who his guest was, but he and his guest were talking about RFK Jr.'s candidacy and how much he has been censored, and how much, I guess, straight talk he's done, particularly about the vaccine, which is what got him kicked off of so many social media platforms during the height of COVID. So I thought I would share a little bit of Joe Rogan's point about that.
Mattos on TV going, it's going to stop that virus in its tracks. The virus ends with you. You can't affect anyone. You can't get infected. It's a lie. That was a lie. And no one's being punished for that. Right. And they'll say that Bobby Kennedy is spreading misinformation, where everything he said, you can verify. Everything he said is true. Yeah. But there's no money in agreeing with him. The amount of money that these news organizations, supposed news organizations, get from being on the side of the pharmaceutical companies and being in their good graces is fucking millions and millions of dollars in advertising revenue. And they have a very specific mandate. And so does YouTube. And that's why YouTube pulled your video.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everything that he said. It's gross. It's all about the money, right?
It's all about
and they're all in bed together. And yet we still haven't seen anybody be held accountable for any of it.
That's what's so frustrating.
If you were a small business owner, and I'm sure there's probably somebody listening to this right now that had their business completely destroyed by COVID, by the government mandated crap that went with COVID. And it's like, who's held responsible for that? Because so much of it was a lie, just lies. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's infuriating. All right, we need something positive. I have a couple of positive things. First, I have Governor Ron DeSantis and his wife Casey speaking to a crowd, and I guess they were asked about how they first met. And it's a super cute story, so I thought I would share it especially because it's Ron that tells the story, and she's just sitting there like looking adoringly at him, and it's a cute story. So I thought you guys might enjoy it.
Oh, how we met. Okay.
Good question. That's a story.
So I was a lieutenant junior grade in the Navy, stationed in Naval Station Mayport. Do we have any Navy veterans in the house here? Okay, thank you. Appreciate you, shipmate. And then she was a TV reporter in Northeast Florida. And I played baseball all the way through college, and but that was over, and so I needed to find something to do. So I started to try to learn how to play golf. So I went to a driving range one afternoon in Northeast Florida. There was this beautiful young lady hitting golf balls right by me, and so her back is to me, and I'm facing her, and I keep see her looking over her shoulder. And I'm like, she's checking me out. I got to go talk to her. The truth is, she was looking to see if I was going to grab those extra golf balls. That's what she wanted. And so, I ended up I ended up using those balls to kind of approach her anyways. And I said, would you like to split these or whatever? And we kind of I introduced myself. We started talking. And then, this is like 2006, so there were no smartphones back then. And so I said, hey, you want to go out and after this? And so I got in my pickup truck, she got in her car, and I was new to the area. I didn't really know where I was going, and you didn't have a map on your phone like you do now. So I didn't yet get her phone number. So she's following me, and I'm like, oh gosh, I got to find a place because I don't want to lose her. And then, so I'm driving. Finally, like a mile or two down the road, I found a Beef O'Brady's. So we went there and hung out in Beef O'Brady's, and then I got her phone number, and then we started dating after that, and kind of the rest is history.
That's cute.
It's cute.
So he used his balls, you guys. He used his balls.
It's so perfect that they met over balls.
They met with balls. It's a ball story. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just so perfect. But naturally, CNN and all the other mainstream media stations are desperate to take him down, as are several people in our audience. I'm well aware. And so they're trying as much as they can. They're like calling him whatever, the Illuminati. They're saying that he's essentially paid for by all kinds of horrible people. He's a rhino, whatever. They're saying all the things. It's just Trump all over again. It's just a new target. But CNN really took the cake because CNN decided that they were going to scoop this unbelievable story that was going to take DeSantis completely out of the picture, you guys. And I was like really nervous. What did he do? What sort of murder did he commit? Right. So I tuned in and I listened to their unbelievable, earth-shattering, breaking news that is going to change everyone's mind about Ron DeSantis. Are you ready?
Ready.
It's pretty bad.
Also this morning, new details about the close relationship between Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis and Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. It has to do with one connection, really. Leonard Leo, a conservative activist who had previously advised both DeSantis and Donald Trump on judicial nominations. Leo is also friends with Justice Thomas. So 3 years ago at an event for the Florida chapter of the Federalist Society, DeSantis said this about Justice Thomas.
This is a justice that has the courage of his convictions, and he's willing to apply the Constitution, regardless of any criticism that he may face, because I do think he is our greatest living justice. Thank you.
And after that speech, DeSantis, Thomas, and Leo all went out to dinner.
Oh my God, they went to dinner, you guys. I'd go to dinner with Clarence Thomas. Would you go to dinner?
Hell yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I would.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that would in our audience that would probably go to dinner with Clarence Thomas. I mean, he seems like a really cool guy.
This completely disqualifies DeSantis from the presidency. I mean, there's no way anybody can vote for him now.
It's just funny it's so funny how breathless they are. And the infighting, I'm already watching like all the Dave Rubin stuff. Him
Oh,
fighting
man.
with it's like, yeah, going back.
Yeah, I wrote a big
Vivek,
post about that on our
and then
site
there's
yesterday.
right, all the infighting and who everybody's stumping for somebody, and it's like, maybe just wait until they debate. Can we all just do that? Can we just wait until we see what they're all about? I mean, I know everybody wants to make assumptions as to what all these people are about, but maybe just wait and like go through the process. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. It's just a suggestion.
It's so like I was not expecting a Dave Rubin Vivek fight. That was not on my bingo sheet or whatever.
Crazy. No, not at all. It's crazy. And then like Candace is jumping in, Candace Owens, and people. It's just our side, man. We just get so
a mess. I know. It's a total mess. Going back to the stuff that you were saying about Sunny Hostin and Whoopi and just the ridiculousness of The View in general and their obsession with race. Bob Woodson was on the Dr. Phil show some time ago. And he just made he's such a good speaker anyway, but he made such a profound point about the way, the view that people take, not of just other people, but of countries and the country's history. And I loved how he put it. And this is just one of those sort of uplifting things, kind of like how I did with Harris Faulkner yesterday. And he's just such a delight. He's such a gentle soul and so lovely to listen to. And I thought he made such a profound point about how people need to look at themselves and their country.
Justice crisis that is causing our children to lack a sense of personal responsibility or value for their own life. They will take their own life or take someone else's. So in order to address that, we must come together and look beyond race and realize America is drowning because it's in a moral and spiritual freefall. None of us should be defined by the worst of what we were in the past, but we should be defined by what we want to become in the future. And that people are motivated to change when you give them a vision of victories that are possible, not constantly reminding them of injuries to be avoided.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Totally agree. And kids are not being presented with that right now.
Right.
They're just presented with, you're a victim, or this country sucks, or, you know, it's like, it's just hate this person, hate that person. That's, and segregation, for Christ's sake, in schools.
Yeah.
This is what they're seeing. And so it's a whole different generation, man. Like, they just do not like their country, and they don't believe in themselves. And that's bad, you know?
Well, and then the adults who are, of course, teaching them to hate their country are insisting that we have to obsess over the past. And listen, I have nothing against learning from the past, learning from the mistakes that this country, other countries have made. I mean, there's been a lot of mistakes, obviously, that we've made and learned from, and certainly overcome in more ways than one. But when you harp on the past instead of thinking about trying to become a more perfect union all the time, which is a never-ending process, it doesn't have a finish line, then it just amazes me that so many adults want to let that past fester and be all that we're about forevermore. Like, there's no overcoming it ever, no matter how great we get.
It makes you wonder how they handle that kind of stuff in their personal relationships.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's got baggage, right? Everybody's done stupid crap to their spouse or whatever. And it's like, can you imagine like living a life where you just are constantly bringing up the past and letting it fester? Right. It's not healthy for a personal relationship, let alone a country. And that's precisely what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get to whack, I have to share this video. This is a celebration or honoring a drag queen, Scott Wiener, who represents some district in San Francisco. He brought in a drag queen who you're going to meet, unfortunately, to honor that drag queen. Now, I looked up for like community service or whatever during Pride Month. And I looked up the name, and I don't remember it now. I looked up the name of this drag queen to see, well, what does this person do for the community? They're literally a director of gay porn. That's their actual job.
Wow.
And I couldn't find anything about any like significant community contributions. And yet this is who Scott Wiener decided to honor during Pride Month.
Great. Thank you,
Oh
everyone.
my God.
I'm Scott Wiener. I have the honor of representing San Francisco and northern San Mateo County in the California State Senate. And today we just completed our Assembly and Senate Pride ceremony where our LGBTQ legislative caucus honored a number of amazing community leaders from throughout the state. I nominated Sister Roma.
Sister Roma.
Sister Roma, you guys. Sister Roma.
Many years of stellar service to our community. And I know there was some discussion and political discourse around this particular honor, but I'm just so proud of Sister Roma and her work in the community.
Her work.
And I'm proud
it's a drag
of
queen.
For
That's a man.
strong,
with a kabuki face and purple feathers. Like, what is that?
I'll fast forward to where.
Oh my God, you guys! Somebody said yesterday. I saw this, and it was like somebody said, "We're lit. This is a South Park episode."
Yes,
to me, it looks like an
like
old SNL. When SNL was funny, it looks like an SNL skit. Like, what the hell is even happening? People are like, "Oh yeah, this is fine. It's fine." Well, I mean, it's California. What do you expect, right? But
here's Sister Roma thanking or doing, I don't even know. Here it is.
Wiener, Scott, wonderful dear friend. This has been an amazing honor. I actually have had a beautiful, beautiful day. To be included with this amazing list of nominees was probably one of the biggest honors that I've ever had. To come into this beautiful state capitol, which I've never been in before, and to be in this location where all of the decisions are made that affect our lives every day feels important and impactful. So to be recognized here means a lot to me, but also to the LGBTQ.
Really? Does it mean a lot to them? Does it mean a lot to that community? Because they're like, oh my God. Because gays and lesbians are looking at that going,
I just can't understand why we have fallen so fast and so hard.
Right. It's a clown show, man. Such a clown show. That's California. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. And now it's actually time for whack.
Okay. So my whack is it's pretty whack, you guys. So there's this guy set up some of his animal stuff was happening on his property. I think he's like a rancher or a farmer or something like that. This older dude. And he set up a game cam on his property. We have a bunch of game cams on our property because my husband's into like seeing all the wildlife. And then also if anybody ever tries to do anything to our house, we've got cameras all over the place. But the game cams.
Ah, geez. Am I going to have to do your whack? All right. Well, I'm going to. Here she is. She's back. Okay. Hopefully. No, she's not back. I will share some pictures of what the game cams. Are you back?
I'm back. Okay. I'm sorry. God. Anyways, we're gonna get that straightened out. I promise you guys. But so this guy had this game cam set up in his property. He thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna see like some. I think they saw a bobcat and some other stuff, and they're like, that's cool. It's cool to see some of that wildlife at night, right? And so they got this picture, or a couple pictures of these what appear to be women who are scantily clad. They're like naked, basically half naked. And
this
they're
one's wearing jeans, but the other one is clearly just wearing like a loincloth.
Like nothing but a loincloth. Yeah, she's just running around with her boobs hanging out. And they're kneeling next to a dead deer. That's a dead deer. So,
and like a partly decomposed dead deer, right?
Yeah. And so like people are surmising that this is some sort of coven of witches. Like that's one of the theories that these chicks are out there. Why on earth would they be doing this at night? First of all, if we saw this on our game cam, we would freak out a little bit. And I'd call the cops. I'd call some authority. I'd be like, listen, this is happening on my property. First of all, because they're trespassing. It's totally weird. I just need you to know this is happening. These people said, we're not going to do it because the grandpa guy that had the game cam, he was like, well, they're not doing anything illegal. I mean, they're just down there. Right. And I'm like,
yeah, but this is still a bit of a concern.
It's so whack. It's like, and they're on your property and we don't know what they were doing. Like some people are saying they were either sniffing the deer or they were somehow ingesting part of the deer, or were they just like, Mock said to me this morning, she's like, maybe she was just kissing it.
Well, that's what the grandpa said. Like it said, this is a direct quote. You can't really tell from the photos, but the hoof was brought right up to her mouth. I don't know if she was kissing it, smelling, or eating it, but to touch a decaying carcass like that makes me feel sick.
It is. It should make you feel sick. And like the fact that she's out there with no clothes on, like who are these freaks? And so there's all these, you know,
oh my God,
all these theories of, are they skinwalkers? You know, because out here in Texas, people talk about that kind of stuff. Are they skinwalkers? Are they witches? Are they, you know, what is it? I don't know. But it is some whack stuff.
That is some whack stuff.
And I would be completely freaked out if I saw that on my game cam. I don't know about you guys.
I think freak out would be a safe bet.
Yeah.
That is not normal at
all.
Our
world. This is our world now. Yeah.
That is our world. We need some MyPillow talks, and we need for all y'all to make sure that you are taking advantage of the huge discounts that you can get at mypillow.com/chicks when you use code chicks. 'Tis the season of flip-flopularity. And if you are looking for comfy flip-flops or slides, the MyPillow ones are amazing. They are like freaking awesome.
They're like pillows on your feet. They're amazing.
Yeah. They're like, they are foot pillows is exactly what they are. You can get discounts on those. You can still get buy one, get one on the MyPillow 2.0 version. So check everything out. All the products, they are amazing. MyPillow.com/chicks. All right, let's get to some talks. First, I wanted to share with you one transy related thing, because this woman is awesome at taking down this ridiculous other trans person. So the trans person is first going to talk about how now, in addition to, like, no longer is it okay for you to ask what is your preferred pronoun. Now that question is also offensive, because when you use the word preferred, it implies that there's a preference and not just fact. So now you're supposed to say, what's your pronoun? And not what's your preferred pronoun.
Oh my
God.
You're
gonna, it's ridiculous.
I'm doing none of it. I'm doing none of these things.
Same.
None.
Same. Absolutely none. So first you're going to hear the trans weirdo say that, and then you're going to hear a fantastic response. Oh, wait, I probably should share my screen. Sharing the screen would actually be helpful at this point. Let me do that.
And asking about someone's pronouns, instead of asking, what are your preferred pronouns? Instead say, what are your pronouns or what pronouns do you use? The idea of preferred suggests that they're optional or not mandatory. Pronouns aren't preferred, they're mandatory. When people tell you the words they go by, you use them.
You want to know why people are starting to have such an issue with trans people? I'm going to give you 3 reasons, and none of them have anything to do with your gender dysphoria or your right to present the way that you want to present. Number 1 is going to be entitlement. The world is under absolutely no obligation to tiptoe around, walk on eggshells, and do their absolute best to protect your feelings. Rather, it is your responsibility to develop a strength of character, to be able to withstand when people do not agree with you. Number 2, the demand of control. You have zero governance over my speech, my thoughts, or my actions. We live in a free society, and we have free speech protected through our Constitution. You cannot tell me that I am mandated to speak in a way that protects your feelings and helps you feel good about yourself. If I use your preferred pronouns, that is strictly a courtesy from me to you, but it is certainly not mandated. Number 3, the obscene attention grabs. Listen, nobody cares if you're trans. Nobody cares. Literally, nobody cares. People have an issue because it is being shoved down everyone's throat. You want so much attention. You want it front and center. You want it in advertising campaigns. You want it in kids' cartoons. You want it in kids' movies. You want it in the libraries. You want it everywhere. You want all of America to stand up and applaud transness, and we simply do not care.
Yeah,
so
I'm not doing it.
Complaining.
Do what you want and quit complaining.
Right. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any of that crap. Right.
I love that. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay. I don't know. This horse has a problem. He's learning to do the jumpy things, the equestrian hoppy doos.
The jumpy things, you guys.
What is it? What's that called?
I don't know. It's equestrian stuff. I'm not sure. I don't ride horses. I'm not really sure.
You know, when they jump over the things. The hurdles? Is that what it is?
Hurdles. How's that?
Hurdling?
Hurdles.
Whatever. Anyway, this horse is just learning. You can do it. You've got this.
Bless his heart. I can do
He did it so extra, right?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
God, I just love it.
Horses are so awesome. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Anyway, this guy is trying to corral some puppies. It's not going well.
Oh no, they want to follow you.
No,
Oh,
okay,
no.
come on, baby. Come on, baby.
He's like, shit. I love it. What a problem to have, you know?
I know.
Not going well. It's just
not going well. This video gave me so much hope. Now, you guys know my Ella dog. She's going to turn 14 in August. And so I never thought until this year that she would be moving to South Carolina with me. I mean, I just based on like dog longevity, I just assumed there was no way a 15-plus-year-old dog was going to be coming with me to South Carolina. I'm starting to think she might. I'm really starting to think
she's
might.
not big. So if they're smaller dogs, they can live a lot longer. We had a Great Dane that lived to be 13. So, I mean, smaller dogs can live to be 19, 22 years old.
Gosh.
You just never know. You never
I
know.
just hope. But look at this sweetness. So the caption on this, in case it's not easy to read, says, "My dad built an elevator for our 17-year-old dog." And because he has trouble using the stairs. It's literally like 4 stairs.
My dad built an elevator for our 17-year-old
God.
dog who has trouble using stairs.
I mean, look at this thing.
Oh my gosh.
He just puts him right in this box. And then he I don't know how it works exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's just these 2 stairs. And then they let him out. Then they're like, "Come on out, buddy. You can do it."
Oh my gosh. Talk about extra. Wow.
Isn't that the sweetest?
God bless him. Look how
My
old
dad
he
built-
is.
17.
Yeah. And the guy who made that for the
I
dog.
know.
So sweet.
Oh my God. I just cannot even deal with how much I love that. This cat was home alone, got caught on video having a bit of an issue. It just gets funnier and funnier.
That progressed really quickly. Okay.
I mean, it just did. It escalated, right? It just, I mean.
Oh my God, cats. So spazzy. Good Lord.
Oh my God, I love that. Also, this is perfection.
What's something you learned growing up that is apparently no longer true?
Have a penis. Girls have a vagina.
What's something you learned growing up?
It's just so simple. It's so true.
Anyway, those are your talks for today. Well, I actually do have one more, but it includes it's like a montage, and I know some of the clips in the montage we've shown for, but it's it's like the matching energy thing that it makes me laugh so hard. And then there were a couple of new ones in it, so I will play it just because these are so fun.
What? Hey, what? Oh my God, babe! What? What the fuck is wrong? What happened?
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh my God, what is that? What is that? What is that?
He's gonna fall in. He's gonna fall in. It's going in. He went in. He totally did. He gets behind her. Oh my God. Some of these guys.
Just love those.
Some of the guys crack me up because they become instant girls. You know, they just it's like it's on tape, dude. You cannot go
my
back with
God.
that.
I love them so much. Anyway,
Okay,
those,
so
those
you guys-
were your talks for today.
Those are the talks. Okay, so we're gonna bring it in, but we have gifts. So if you guys want to stick around, I have some stuff here. I wanted to make sure that I thank some people for because I finally went to my PO box after about 18 years. So we're bringing it in. I hope I feel better tomorrow, you guys. I'm sorry. I've been so out of it this morning. It's one of those days.
You've got the Bernie voice.
I think I have strep. I think that's what's happening.
That was your cue.
Yeah. Okay.
Bernie voice.
What do you got? But why? I mean, it's so bad. It's like so very, very bad.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I got the coasters from Via. It's funny because my daughter opened the gifts yesterday and she's like, look, Mom, cocks. And I was like, yeah, there's a bunch of coasters in here. There's gooses. You got gooses and you got tits. You guys have tits. There's tits.
Yep.
But yeah, these are great. I love these so much. So thank you, Via. And then I got this from Morgan. She didn't even she just put your retro realtor. So I'm assuming this is from Morgan. Did you get it?
Yes. Did you see the other? It's got the two sides.
It's two sides. It's two sides. It's great. It's like a little makeup pouch. God bless.
This is going right into my purse. I needed a new one of these, and it's like the perfect timing. Oh my God, so excited.
Okay. And then we've got the from Renee. Renee, I think she sent this to you too. I'm so excited about this. Did you guys see this?
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
It's gorgeous. And I have an America room in my cabin. I'm going to put that in. So I'm very, very excited about that. Let me make sure I get the right stuff here. Hold on. Okay. And then this was super cute. I thought, sorry, I got to get the right person. I'm going to make sure I'm like, okay. So this is from, it says, is it Gage? Is it Gay? It's Gay Olson. And I cannot pronounce your last name. I'm sorry. I can't.
Obra. Yes.
You're better at that than I am. I'm not good at the last names, but look at this. This is me and my daughter. Can you even?
Aww.
And it says like mother, like daughter. Oh crap. I just love it so much. Thank you. I love this.
Oh my
Gwen
gosh.
loved it too. It was just the cutest thing. So there's that.
So cute.
Let me see what else. There's hold on. There's two other things I want to show you. So you already got this, but this is the board. It says all the things.
That.
It's a magnet board. It's beautiful. I love it.
Oh my
so
God.
much. And that's from Gina. And then the last thing, I have to grab it. It's over here on my printer. Okay. This is from Bethany. Can you stand it? Did you get a monkey? I got a cow. I mean, can you even stand it? So cute, Bethany.
Freaking love this thing.
It says chicks on the right on it. I cannot deal. And
oh my
husband
God.
goes, don't let the dogs get that. Because I mean,
I know. Well, this is going to go on the shelf behind me now that everybody has, now that we've shown it.
Yeah.
And it was, it was the cutest. I have to get my glasses because it was a tiny little card, but she said, I hope you enjoy your very own monkey. It doesn't need feeding and it's soft to pet. Just wanted to say thank you for brightening up the Coates' home every morning with Daisy. Keep up the great work. This is from Bethany Coates from Little Bits and Pieces Embroidery.
I mean, just the cutest thing. I know. It's so cute.
Cannot even deal.
So cute.
So squishy.
You guys are way too generous. I mean, just
and also one more thing I just wanted to mention from Gay Olson Obraslinsky, I think is her last name.
Thank you.
She sent me a card just saying that she was that there was a circle of caring around me in advance of my surgery, which I really appreciated. So I wanted to make sure to mention that also.
Very, very sweet. Very, very, very sweet. Thank you guys.
Thanks, you guys. Yeah, this monkey won't rip my face off.
No,
or fling poo.
Or your husband's genitals. Yeah, so that's good. That's really good. It's the best kind of monkey. Anyways, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to go take just a ridiculous, obscene amount of medicine right now. So we will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.